two young ladies here. This is Özlem over here.
Hello.
Özlem is a professional weaver, very well known in the carpet weaving art, and she's working right now on an extremely fine carpet, which is pure silk. Yes,
Wow.
thank you for asking. You may use your cameras, please. And this is Emine. Emine is a beginner. She's here with us for nearly 4 months. Emine. Right. And she's working on a wool carpet, right, which has a cotton foundation. And she's doing her best. She's very talented, and she never had made a carpet before. So very well. They're both catching the two threads, the vertical threads, and they're making a wrap on each one, as you see. You see that? This is what is called the Turkish knot or the Gordian knot, ladies and gentlemen.
Pull it down.
That's it. That's it. Do it again. It's not good. All right, I will tell it to you. Once again, let's see it again. Evet, hello. One more time.
Yep.
All right. Pulling it down and cutting it off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have here two types of carpets. This one over here was silk, and this one here is wool on cotton.
Just watch it.
Wool on cotton. So what does that mean? Wool on cotton. Such as silk on wool, or wool on silk, or wool on, or silk on cotton, or cotton on silk. It doesn't exist. The reason is, ladies and gentlemen,
Very nice.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, can you please ask that loud again?
Can I ask
All
you
right.
about the blend?
Yes, okay.
Wool and
Ladies
silk
and gentlemen, blending. Blending and combination. These are different terms, and this works.
Oh my.
Please come get around here.
Oh.
Museum, which is dedicated to carpet making. Dear guests. Now, right at the moment, what we're seeing here is the very ancient form of dyeing wool. Some of our carpets are dyed with this method, especially the nomads. The carpets which are made by the nomads, they're all made from this completely on very simple routes, such as putting materials into boilers, into hot water, and start boiling them together for about 2 hours, and then taking them off the fire and letting it cooling down for another 12 hours, ladies and gentlemen, and it is well, to fix this, there is a second group that we call mordants. This is, for example, a mordant. It is rock salt, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the usual salt, ladies and gentlemen. And the nomads, they have access to this. For example, vinegar is also a mordant. It fixes, right? And urine, for example, which is used by, right, that's also a wonderful fixer. It's also used by the nomads. So these are the materials that I use for dyeing. But the nomads, ladies and gentlemen, they sometimes don't know what additional minerals are included in this rock salt.
Right.
Well, there could be copper, iron, so they wouldn't know about that. So instead of red, they may come up with, for example, a completely different colors, like orange or purple. Do you know what they do in that case?
No.
Well, the nomads, they would go with the purple carpet in that case. You know, they wouldn't mind that. So they were just interested in doing, these little coincidences, accidents, ladies and gentlemen. We like that a lot.
Sure. Okay.
We love that. All right. So unique features, unusual features on handmade carpets, they make them special, unique, and natural, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So and. Here we are seeing some different dye, for example, materials. So what are these materials? For example, do you know what this is, or what this looks like?
Leaves.
It is leaves. Tobacco.
Green?
I'm sorry, for when they're fresh, it is a kind of a yellowy kind of green, but when it's dried out, it is a wonderful, yellow, browny kind of a yellow again. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, acorns, wild walnuts, for example, when they're fresh dark green. Well, you're not going to believe But in the natural dyeing procedures, right, the most difficult color is
Black.
green. Isn't that amazing? Everything is green, but getting the dark green especially is the most difficult color, ladies and gentlemen. But amongst these colors, one very interesting color I'd like to introduce you right now. How do we get the blue, do you think?
Mixing the red with
So you can get green by mixing yellow into blue, but the blue, ladies and gentlemen, indigo. Indigo. Anybody from Carolina, South Carolina?
Yep, we do.
All right. Carolina used to be the world's most important indigo growing area. That's why indigo genes, the genes is that's why blue. Ladies and gentlemen. All right. So to fix indigo, we need rock salt and oxygen. Now watch this. We're going to dye the yarn in about 10 seconds. Aç bakalım. Now it's at the beginning as you see undyed, but the pigments they're getting activated after they're taken out, and it gets bluer and bluer. It gets bluer and bluer. Ladies and gentlemen, exactly. So if we would rinse this right at this certain moment, it would stay like that. But if we keep it out for a longer time, evet çekelim. All right, like that. Oh, let's shut this down. This smells awful. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be as dark as these. The quality of the wool, would also determine the shade
Why
of
does it
it.
smell so bad?
It's the indigo, I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry, honey. What are these?
Rainwater, especially German. What is silk?
From the cocoon.
It is. So what is a cocoon?
From the worm that spins it.
Yeah. Why does the worm do this?
Sweet.
To become a butterfly.
Butterfly.
All right, but why does it do the cocoon? So just let it go.
So he lives in there until he,
Protection. Reason number one. There's one more reason, ladies and gentlemen.
So we can have pockets.
And silk scarves.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cocoon is the silk itself. Ladies and gentlemen, the silkworm does this because of protection, and it is going to eat it out. This is the food for it, ladies and gentlemen. All right? So the silkworm is the larva of the domesticated silkworm. And the silkworm, when they come out of the eggs, within 60 days, they reach to about 2 inches length. And do you know what well, I just thought, right. The silkworms, they would eat only mulberry leaves, nothing else. And after 60 days, they suddenly stop eating them. And they start to surround themselves with this cocoon here. And what they want to do is to become a moth again. And they shrink, and they're in the metamorphosis stage right now. And ladies and gentlemen, the reason is protection for doing this, and it's going to eat this out. But if they start eating, the silk is going to be useless. That's why we take them out of their nests, and we steam these cocoons, and that steaming causes to death of these silkworms. This is the only sad part here. I'm very sorry to tell you this. Ladies and gentlemen, later on, we throw them into warm water all right? And we wait until the cocoons absorb a lot of moisture and become very soft so that we can catch the ends or the beginnings of these threads. There's one continuous thread on this. And ladies and gentlemen, we have to catch them. But we need a high-tech tool to do that with micro hooks. Otherwise, how can one catch these ends? You see, unraveling, that's going to be, do you want to see the high-tech tool? Ladies and gentlemen, this was probably high-tech in the past. Now, how does one use this? Do you see this gentleman here? He's been standing here silently. This is Recep. Right. And Recep has been doing this for our company for nearly 15 years. And ladies and gentlemen, please watch his move. Look at that. He's going to stir the soup of these cocoons, and he's gonna catch all the ants like that. Can you see that? Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
Right? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is still, kind of a tangled up, kind. So we need perfect singular strands. So he's
Right.
gonna unravel this a little more until he reaches
The end.
Wow.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to touch this? Please come close on. I want you to get this.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Give it to us. Give it to us. Oh, wow.
Just pull it. All right.
Can I pull it?
Pull it more. Right. So I'm keeping unraveling this. Look at that. Right. And here's some more for you. Just go get this.
Makes 1
Ladies and
mile of
gentlemen,
silk.
is this a miracle or not? What do you
Yes,
think?
it's a miracle.
Amazing. This is a miracle. Imagine this here, how strong this is.
And
It's
how fine it
amazing.
is, yeah.
That little creature is doing something.
Yes,
and,
nobody else in the
well,
world
they
can
don't
do.
do this perhaps for us humankind, but
We figured
this is
it
the
out.
benefit of the nature that is just provided for us all. Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen. So later on, what we're going to do is we're going to put all these threads or strands. There are about 60 right at the moment together. Let's get rid of these, some of these, and let's get to again the perfect ones here. All right.
Well, what do you
My
do?
colleague is gonna start unraveling this with this foot pedal one. Come closer. Come closer. All right. I want you to see that here, ladies and gentlemen. See how it is in. If you want to touch this and feel how it unravels, just go ahead and do
Yes.
so. Right, touch it there. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an amazing procedure. And this, well, right at the moment, he's unraveling about 60 pieces of the world here. And for nearly 1,400 years, silk is produced all over the world. And it was a very deadly secret. In the past, to talk about this, to tell about the details about this was a crime in the past, ladies and gentlemen.
I think it should be.
Right, so imagine, ladies and gentlemen, I have here a question for you. Well, do you see how silk shines? Okay, why does silk shine? Have you ever thought about that?
Because of the oil?
No oil.
Isn't it the spit
I
of the...
changed the question. I changed the question. Why do diamonds shine?
With light,
Right. Why do they reflect cut facets? Ladies and gentlemen, if we had a microscope here, here comes another miracle. If we had a microscope here and looked at these strands, do you know what we would see? A continuous triangular prism.
Okay,
So
that's
facets.
Yes.
very special.
Because the opening, the silk is coming out of the upper lip of the silkworm, right? It is a triangular opening,
Oh.
ladies and gentlemen, and it comes out like that, and that's why, ladies and gentlemen, on this thread, on one of these threads here, ladies and gentlemen,
Don't destroy it.
there is approximately 1,000 strands
Wow.
of these silk. So that means 3,000 facets.
I think you destroy
That's what
the
gives it that
processing.
sheen. Yeah.
No, it's not destroyed. That's otherwise it wouldn't.
Yeah, it wouldn't shine.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Fold them. Oh, there.
I bought one like that in Israel. It's very expensive. Very tiny one.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Here's the flying carpet.
This tiny little rock. For the value of this little piece here, you can get all these caps that are hanging on the wall. All of them.
Oh. And it will not.
But what makes this carpet so special? 8,000 knots per square inch. Ladies and gentlemen, of course the knots per square inch, but not that high. It's old. This one here has 2,500 knots per square inch. So it's an extremely fine weave, and if we have that kind of fineness, then we're able to put any design onto the carpets, ladies and gentlemen. And I would like to show you the tree of life design like that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to hand this over. I want you to look at this and feel this a little closer. Ladies and gentlemen, here, You want to talk Turkey in Turkey. That's what ladies and gentlemen.
Can't expect.
Well, this is 1,000 knots per square inch. Please hand this over here. And again, 1,000 knots per square inch. Here are some of these most beautiful tablets. Central Turkey, for example. This one here is from the Dardanelles, Southern Taurus Mountains, and the northeastern part of the country, the Caucasian area. In
My favorite one.
The Bergamot, about 50 years old. It's again made by no man. It's amazing weavings here.
That must be expensive, man.
These are called killings. Have you ever heard about them? Killings, flat leaves. Look at these here. The whole surface is embroidered on these weavings here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. And please come onto the campus one more time. I want you to get